Danny from Epic Gaming Night, and this is How To Board Games. This week we're going to be talking about trying to figure out if a game is good or not. So, say you're at a game store or a big box store or maybe like Barnes & Nobles or like a toy store, and they have a whole bunch of board games, and you're looking at this massive wall of board games, and you have no real way to tell which board game is good or not. So you pick up a board game, you think it looks cool. So let's take, for example, here, this cool game. It's called Spectre Ops, and it has these cool things on the front. You read the back and it sounds interesting, but of course they're going to do the best to make it sound interesting as they can. How are you going to know if this is actually a good game or not? So I'm going to show you what I do as far as research goes for a game to see if it's something that I'll actually be wanting to pick up, what other people say about it, and what the sort of ranking for that game is. So let's take a look. So you're at your friendly local game store or big box store, wherever that carries board games, and you found this awesome game called Spectre Ops. You have no clue if it's any good or not. What I normally do is I pull out my cell phone, most people have smartphones these days, and I go to BoardGameGeek.com. And this is a place where there's all kinds of board games. I look in the search engine and search for the game that I want to get information about. There it'll show you the board games page. There will be the rankings of the game pitted against all the other board games, and then also the average rating that people rate the game 1 through 10. Then I click on the comments section to see what some people are saying about these games, to see if it's a sort of fit for me. At the top here you'll have a bunch of 10s. People say it's a great hide and seek game and it's an awesome experience for all sorts of different number of players. And then there's a guy here saying it's better than another game that's similar than it. And then look, here's my comment where I say I love the game and it's the best hidden movement game I've played. You also want to go to the end and see what some people say about the game who haven't rated it very highly. So let's look here. The lowest rating on this game is actually a 4. So there's a lady that says it's more for 15-year-old boys instead of 4-year-old women, so she found it boring. Another guy that says that he thinks it's a good hidden movement game, but he thinks he prefers Letters from Whitechapel. But a couple more plays could change his mind. That's actually positive overall. There's a guy here trying to get rid of his copy of the game. He's trying to trade it, so he just has some information for that. And then there's also another guy here who thinks that it doesn't necessarily work the best with higher player counts. So maybe if you're trying to play with 5, maybe this isn't going to be the game you want to pick up. So that's what I do. I take into account the breadth of a bunch of the different comments, especially the higher numbers to see people that really love the game, and then the lower numbers to see people that really hate the game. With Spectre Ops, the fact that there's not like a ton of 1s and things like that is actually a huge thing for the game, because there's not a lot of people that hate the game very strongly. So you could read through all the comments and see what you think about what other people said about it and how they're enjoying the game, and maybe you can find out if that's an actual game for you. But that's what I normally do if it's a quick out on the go thing and I have no clue what this game is, but it looks cool. I just whip it out and see if there's a ton of comments about it, see what the rankings are currently, and that'll let me know if there's a lot of other people talking about the game and excited about it. Because if the game doesn't have a whole lot of buzz, which might just be because it's new, but if it's an older game and there's no buzz about it and there's not a whole lot of information, then it might not be the best game. So that's what I do when I'm out on the go, just whip out the smartphone. If I have more time and I can do more in-depth and I want to plan my purchases and I don't have extra cash to be throwing on board games that aren't necessarily going to fit for me, I make sure to do reviews and watch a ton of videos, and we'll talk about that more on our next episode. So make sure to check us out then. This has been How To Board Games, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to hit us up in the comments if you have any questions, and we'll see you then. Peace.